There have been major developments on the battlefield and at the negotiating table. Peace talks in Geneva have shown progress, while fighting across Ukraine continues. Here is what you need to know. United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio says negotiators made a tremendous amount of progress during talks in Geneva on Sunday. He sounded optimistic that an agreement could be reached soon. The discussions are based on a 28-point peace plan pushed by President Donald Trump. Key areas still under debate include the role of NATO and long-term security guarantees for Ukraine. Ukraine's delegation shares that optimism.
We have a very good work product that was already built on a foundation of input from all the relative parties involved here, and we were able to go through some of those items now, point by point, and I think we've made good progress. Our teams have now gone to their rooms as we're working on some of the suggestions that were proffered to us. So we're working through making some changes, some adjustments, in the hopes of furthering narrowing the differences and getting closer to something that both Ukraine and obviously the United States are very comfortable with. Obviously, this will ultimately have to be signed off by our presidents, although I feel very comfortable about that happening, given the progress we've made.
Andriy Yermak, who is leading the talks for Kyiv, said they are moving toward what he called a just and lasting peace for the Ukrainian people.
We have very good progress, and we are moving forward to the just and lasting peace. Ukrainian people deserve and want this peace more than anyone in this planet.
Even as negotiators reported progress, Trump posted on Truth Social, accusing Ukrainian leaders of showing zero gratitude and criticizing Europe for buying Russian oil. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy quickly replied on X, saying Ukraine is grateful to the United States and personally to Trump for assistance that is saving lives. Zelenskyy later said that Trump's team in Geneva is hearing Ukraine's concerns and that the talks would continue into the night. CBS reported that Zelenskyy may travel to the US this week for direct talks with Trump, depending on how Geneva unfolds. French President Emmanuel Macron urged the European Union to continue financial support for Ukraine. He expressed confidence that Zelenskyy can strengthen anti-corruption reforms, which are essential for Ukraine's path toward EU membership. However, Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban once again opposed continued support. He claimed Ukraine has no chance of winning the war and accused EU leaders of deliberately prolonging the conflict. He described Europe's backing of Kyiv as just crazy.
But at the same time, we are not unified because Brussels and the Europeans have a different approach to the war. So the only pro-peace government is the United States government and the small Hungary in Europe anyway. All the other governments prefer to continue the war because many of them think that Ukraine can win on the front line, which is a misunderstanding of the situation. So it's a complicated issue. We will discuss it. It requests not just 2 minutes to respond to your question, but rather than our lecture. Sorry, not to continue.
To both of you.
So you would say that Ukraine cannot win that war?
You know, miracle can happen.
Yeah.
While diplomats talked, Russia and Ukraine continued exchanging attacks. A massive Russian drone strike on Kyiv killed 4 people and wounded 12, including 2 children. In the Dnipropetrovsk region, repeated Russian attacks killed 2 more people and injured at least 5. Russia also reported damage. A Ukrainian drone struck the Shatura power station near Moscow, igniting a fire and cutting heating for thousands of people before service was restored. Russian authorities also temporarily restricted flights at Vnukovo International Airport after shooting down 3 drones. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk said an explosion on a railway line used for transporting aid and weapons to Ukraine was an unprecedented act of sabotage. He vowed to find whoever was responsible. Oil markets reacted to the fighting as well. Prices fell after Russia resumed loading operations at the Novorossiysk export hub on the Black Sea. The port had been shut down for 2 days following a Ukrainian attack. Diplomats say peace is within reach, but fighting on the ground shows no sign of slowing. With more talks expected and rumours of a possible Zelenskyy visit to Washington, the coming days will be critical for both Ukraine's future and the wider region.